Hi friends, my name is Lisa and I'm the Education Coordinator at the Financial and Consumer Services Commission. And part of my job is to talk to people all over the province and share information to help them make smart saving and spending choices. Today, I want to talk to you about advertising and social media and their impact on your spending habits. We spend money on things because they're important to us in some way. It may be to fulfill a need, like healthy food, because staying healthy is important to us. Or it may be to fulfill a want, like a bike, because freedom and being able to explore is important to us. But regardless of why you're spending your money, it's important to think about a few things when you're making a spending decision. Why do I really want to buy it? Is it because I truly want or need it? Or is it because someone else is telling or pressuring me into it? Or am I worried I'll feel left out if I don't spend my money the same way my friends do? Can I afford it? Do I have enough money now to buy it, or do I have to save for it? And is it really worth it to me to even have it? Asking yourself these questions is a great starting point towards making smart money decisions. I have another question for you to think about. Have you ever had money regret? By this, I mean, can you think of a time that you bought something and a few days later, or even hours later, you realized you shouldn't have? This is also called buyer's remorse. Some examples could be buying food from a vending machine and then not liking it, ordering something online, and then when it arrives it wasn't what you thought it was, purchasing a video game and then finding out it isn't what you expected and then never playing it, or spending money on fads like trading cards or gadgets, and then they go out of style and you never use them again. When we spend on things without really thinking about their long-term value or use, we sometimes regret it later and might not have enough money for the things that we really want or need. Let's also talk a bit about FOMO. Anyone have any idea what that means? If you said fear of missing out, you're right. We all can be a victim of FOMO at some point in our lives. It can be really tempting to want to buy things just because everyone else is, and you want to feel like you're part of the group. The problem with FOMO is that we often end up buying things that we don't really like or even want, instead of thinking about why we want it and making a plan to buy it because it's important to us. Then we are back to money regret. Let's take a closer look at some examples where advertising, social media, and FOMO can influence our spending. The first example I'd like to give is online gaming. It's so easy to spend a lot of money without even realizing it. You spend real money to buy game money that you can use to buy things at the in-game item shops. It can be way too easy to buy items without realizing, or losing track of, how much you are spending because the dollar amount of the game currency doesn't match real-life dollar amounts. For example, let's say you want to buy a new outfit that costs 1,500 V-Bucks. Well, you can't just buy 1,500 V-Bucks. You've got to purchase V-Bucks in bundles. So, you have to spend more to get the outfit. Now you've got some leftover V-Bucks, but not enough to really buy anything good. So you spend more money to top up your V-Bucks. See the vicious cycle? Another thing to remember is that some of these games update each night. So there is added peer pressure, or FOMO, when you hear about a new skin or other game feature from YouTubers and you don't want to miss out. There are also high-pressure sales at play because the special items are only available for a limited time, sometimes only a couple of days. Here's where having a set amount in mind and sticking to a budget will help you avoid overspending. Maybe you could set a limit for how many special offers you'll buy in a month based on your budget, and once you reach that, remember that you have a new amount for the next month. Set aside a budget for each of the things you really want, so that all your money isn't spent on just one game, activity, or hobby. Our second example is a celebrity makeup line. Celebrity influencers are a reminder that we need to do our own research and find out if what they are selling is something that we truly want, instead of buying it just because a celebrity tells us it's a great product or service. For example, would another brand name that is less expensive give me the same results? Am I only buying this because I think this product or service will help me look or feel a certain way? And why do I want to buy this in the first place? Asking yourself these questions before making that purchase can potentially save you from having a money regret down the road. The third example is the pair of skates. These represent feeling pressured by certain brand names when playing sports. I'm sure lots of you play sports at school or even competitively. Playing sports can add up to lots of costs, including equipment, uniforms, lessons, coaches, travel expenses for away games, just to name a few. Realizing that more expensive doesn't always mean better quality can help keep the cost of playing sports under control. And this also applies to brand name clothing like sneakers, hoodies, or hats. And now to our final example, the cell phone. Cell phones are a big part of your life, since many of you have your own personal cell phone by the time you reach middle school. How many of you pay your cell phone bill on your own? If you do, that's great. You're learning what it costs to have a service with monthly charges and how to pay a bill every month. But if you are like most middle schoolers who have a cell phone, chances are your parents are paying your bill, and those costs can add up fast. If you also consider that your parents may be paying cell phone bills for more than one child, plus themselves, plus all the other household expenses, it can be pretty easy to see that money for all the bells and whistles that are available for cell phones can be hard to manage. If you want to have the latest and greatest in cell phones, or any technology for that matter, consider including that extra cost in your own spending money, and then decide if it's something you really want. Researching exactly what your cell phone itself and the monthly bill costs each month is something you can do to help understand the true cost. One important lesson to remember from these examples is that YouTube influencers, advertising, and social media promotion all have one job in common: to sell you something. And they're usually really good at their job, and that can be pretty hard to resist. Remember that YouTubers often get paid to promote these products, and they might not even like or use them themselves in real life. I like to say that our job is to be an informed consumer, which means that we need to really think about what we're buying and do our homework on the products and services we buy to make sure they are something that we really want, that they will fulfill the purpose we have for them, and that they have a value to us before we spend our money on them. I hope this video has got you thinking about how social media and advertising influence your spending habits, and that before you become a victim of FOMO, or a fear of missing out, you take the time to really think about why you're buying something and if it's truly of value to you. I look forward to seeing you again to talk about more ways to help you with your money management choices. Bye for now.